Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on participle clauses in English grammar, how to use them correctly in your writing. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. You will also find a bell icon. Click on it, and this will ensure that whenever a new video is uploaded on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. What is a participle? Let's begin with looking at a participle. A participle is a word formed from a verb but used as an adjective. For example, he is in the sitting room. He is in the sitting room. All right, so you can see this is a present participle, sitting room. All right, the word sitting here is from the verb sit. But here it's not really used as a verb, it is used as an adjective. It modifies the noun room. It tells us more about room. What type of room? He is in the room. Which room? Sitting room, not bedroom, right? So that is what a participle is a verbal form. It's a word that is formed from a verb and it is used as an adjective. All right. Now, the second example is he is eating fried rice. Now, the word fried is formed from fry, which is a verb, to fry. Now, fried is the past participle. So here we can identify two types of participle. This is the present participle, and this is the past participle, all right? So that is what a participle is about. Now, what is a participle clause? Now, a participle clause is a subordinate clause that begins with a participle. Now, a subordinate clause is also called a dependent clause, a clause that cannot stand on its own and cannot convey complete meaning is called a subordinate or dependent clause. All right? If you check the description section below, you will find various videos I have uploaded on clauses in English, all right? So now let's look at examples of participle clauses. Look at the first one. Realizing that he had used the wrong words, he quickly apologized to the audience. Now, the participle clause here is realizing that he had used the wrong words, and the participle that begins it is a present participle, realizing. All right, realizing. So that's exactly the way it is, realizing. Now, the second example, worried about his wife's ill health, he called the family doctor. Now, the participle here is a past participle, worried. Worried about his wife's ill health, he called the family doctor. Next, we have the couple lay on the beach enjoying the breeze. Now, the participle clause is enjoying the sea breeze. Now, don't forget the other one is worried about his wife's ill health. That's the participle clause, and it begins with the participle worried, which is a past participle. The couple lay on the beach enjoying the sea breeze. Enjoying the sea breeze is the participle clause in this sentence, and it begins with the participle enjoying, which is the present participle. Now, the next example is having locked the office. That's the participle clause here. Having locked the office, the manager went home. Now, this clause begins with a participle having, which is a present participle. The next example, feeling exhausted, feeling exhausted, she went to bed immediately she entered her room. Now, the participle here, participle clause is feeling exhausted. All right, feeling exhausted. Okay, so that's exactly, and it begins with the participle feeling. All right. Now, these are examples of participle clauses. Now, why do we use participle clauses? Now, the examples, the reasons are clear. Number one, to communicate information in a more in a more precise manner or more precisely. So this is a typo here. To communicate information more precisely or in a more precise manner. The second reason is to express ideas in a variety of ways so that we add variety to our writing. Your ability to use different types of sentences will always add color and flavor to your writing. If you check the description section below, you will find a video I have uploaded on types of sentences. There are various types of sentences, and these types of sentences will help you to add, add flavor to your writing by adding variety. All right. Now, the third reason we use participle clauses is to make a piece of writing formal and impressive in an academic writing test. Let's assume you are going to sit the IELTS academic writing tests. Of course, you need to express your ideas in a very, very precise manner. And of course, you need to use various types of sentences to be able to convey your ideas in a variety of ways. So, and again, when you use participle clauses, you are actually giving formality to your writing. You are using the formal tone, because in informal or personal discussions, people don't often use participle clauses. But when you write in a formal manner, then it is always good to use participle clauses. All right, because participle clauses, of course, have a way of, even combining ideas. Making your ideas more precise. Okay. Now, when do we use participle clauses? One, when talking about two simultaneous actions. All right, you want to talk about two things happening at the same time. For example, the couple lay on the beach. The fact that they lay on the beach is one action. Enjoying the sea breeze, that's another thing that is happening there. All right, they lay on the beach and at the same time enjoying the sea breeze. So you want to talk about two things happening at the same time, two actions taking place simultaneously. Now, the second example, Rose walked to school singing a new hymn she had learned at the choir. This word is learned, all right? A new word she has learned at the choir. So take note of this. A new word she had learned at the choir. Okay, so now two things are happening here. She was walking to school, and at the same time, she was singing a new hymn that she has learned at the choir. All right. Now, the second occasion when we use participle clauses is when giving the reason for an action. You want to explain why something happened or why someone had to do something. For example, we can say, realizing that he had used the wrong words, he apologized to the audience. Now, the question is, why did he apologize to the audience? He apologized to the audience because he realized he had used the wrong words, all right? Realizing that he had used the wrong words, that gives the reason for the apology. Now, the second one, not knowing it was a live wire, she touched it and was electrocuted. Now, the reason why she touched it and was electrocuted was that she didn't know it was a live wire. So when giving a reason or the reason for a given action, why something happened, you use participle clauses. All right? Now, the next occasion for using participle clauses is precisely when talking about a sequence of events in which one is completed before or after the other. For example, having finished his assignment, now you can see, having finished his assignment at the office, he went home. Now, there are two things that happen here. He's finishing his assignment at the office and he's going home. And one happened before the other. And so you can see we used the participle clause to talk about the first action. She first finished his assignment at the office before he went home. So having finished his assignment at the office, he went home. Now let's look at the second example. Having arrived at the airport, Mike went straight for his boarding pass. Now, the first thing that happened is what we use the participle clause for. He's arriving at the airport. Having arrived at the airport, Mike went straight for his boarding pass. Now, the fourth occasion for using participle clauses is when talking about the cause and effect of actions or events. You know, one thing being the cause of another, or one thing being the effect of an action that was caused. Now, let's take a look at this example. Arriving late at the airport, Okon missed his flight to London, you see. So that also can be looked at a reason, but so his missing his flight to London was the effect of his lateness, all right? The effect of his arriving late at the airport, all right? So then the second example, having been hit by a bike, that's the cause. Don't forget we are using the participle clause to state the cause. Having been hit by a bike, she screamed in pain, all right? She screamed in pain. You see, the cause of her screaming in pain was her being hit by a bike. All right? Her screaming in pain was the effect of her being hit by a bike. So we have a cause and effect. Then the third one, which is using a past participle to begin the participle clause, is as follows. Grieved by the sudden death of her husband, she wept inconsolably. Now, grieved by the sudden death of her husband, she wept inconsolably. She wept inconsolably. All right? So her weeping inconsolably is the effect of the sudden death of her husband. All right? Now, let's look at another occasion or another reason for using participle clauses or the purpose of using it. When talking about the purpose of an action, we use a participle clause. For example, hoping to increase, all right? Hoping to increase his income, Mark started an online business. You can see the purpose of his starting an online business is to increase his income. That's the purpose. So the participle clause is hoping to increase his income. All right? That is the purpose of his starting an online business. Then the next reason for using a participle clause is when combining two related ideas in one sentence. Two things are related, two actions related, and we want to combine the two in one sentence. For example, the players ran into the pitch wearing their new multicolored jerseys. Now, there are two actions, running into the pitch and wearing their new multicolored jerseys. So when we want to combine two related ideas in one sentence, it could be two related actions, such as running into the pitch and wearing their new jerseys. Now we are combining them together in a very precise manner. Then we can use a participle clause to achieve this objective. Now, the next reason for using a participle clause is when talking about one event that happens during another one. You see, one event is happening and then another one is also happening in that same process. For example, all right, one of the policemen died trying to rescue the politician from his kidnappers. All right, can put a comma here. One of the policemen died trying to rescue the politician from his kidnappers. Now, you see, the policeman died in the process of trying to rescue the politician from his kidnappers. So we have one event happening, and in the process of that event, another one happens. The policeman is in the process of rescuing the politician from his kidnappers, and suddenly he dies. All right? Probably the kidnappers shot at him and he died. Now, the next one, Caroline dozed off while listening to the boring sermon. All right? Dozing off is one event that happens in the process of another event. While listening to the boring sermon, she dozes off. She dozed off, all right? So these are ways of using the participle clauses. Let's look at the next one. When giving a vivid description of a person, object, or scene. All right. So this implies that when we are writing a narrative essay or a piece of imaginative literature, such as a novel or a short story, you know, the use of participle clauses becomes very, very imperative, all right? Becomes necessary. Now, for example, you see this is the kind of description you find in novels. Painted leaf green and decked with flags and flowers, the house looked as beautiful as the guests at the royal wedding. Now, the participle clause here is painted leaf green and decked with flags and flowers. All right, that's the participle clause, and it enables us to give a very graphic description, very attention-grabbing description of the scene or the setting of the royal wedding. All right. Now, the next one is when describing a condition in a more concise manner. We want to describe a condition. For example, properly stored smoked fish can last for 2 weeks or more. Now, the participle clause here is properly stored, properly stored. In other words, when properly stored, or if you properly store smoked fish, it can last for 2 weeks or more. So we present it in a more concise manner by simply using a participle clause. And instead of saying when properly stored, or when smoked fish is properly stored, or if you store smoked fish properly, you know, instead of bringing all those words, we just make it quite concise. Properly stored smoked fish can last for 2 weeks or more. Then another example is used effectively. Pre-writing techniques can help you improve the quality of your writing. Now, used effectively is the participle clause here. And what it means is when used effectively, or if it is used effectively, or if they are used effectively, pre-writing techniques can help you improve the quality of your writing. Well, this is where we draw the curtain in today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly like the video and share it with your friends and relations. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, this is the appropriate time to hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon, so that whenever a new video goes live on this channel, you will be notified instantly. If you have any questions or suggestions, or probably any comment, please leave them in the comment section below. You can find time, if you find time, you can check the description section for related videos that will help you in pursuing your goal of achieving proficiency in the use of the English language. I want to say a big thank you to all of you who were part of today's video, and others who have always been part of this community. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for your massive support to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye for now, and remain blessed. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click
click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you